Master.
Clepali suome kanyo ake Sktv benyo. Sema cheni tina ke asema jamu. Enji sano muni emu aye yo. Enji lofa mui emu aye yo.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa. Sktv, the best in Mama Liberia. Must hold by the lofa and grandbaza.
And I dine ya to money, and I sadia ya to money, and I wanna play ya to money, and I could do ya to money, and I dine ya to money, and I sadia ya to money. And I wanna play ya do money, and I could do ya do money. And I don't get it now, ya do money. That's the baby. And I don't get it now. So she work on my ya do money. Yeah. Oh.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa. Sktv, the best in Mama Liberia. Must hold by the lofa and grandbaza.
There are things we can do. We bring in good news and we give it to you. We talking for podcasts and connecting people and culture from here and outside of the globe. Qualified people who waiting to sell. The flesh, the time, and the efforts are rest. The broadcast we giving are real and I promise my best. To work with my life without fear. From Grandfather, Nima to Lufa. From Riverside, River G to Chile. From Grand Crew, Bombing, Kidman, Monserrat, San to Bacalu. From Maryland, Bon County to Mikey B. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa.
Sorry. Yeah, thank you. Yes, thank you, Jim David. Thank you, Robert Fasulu Jacqueline. Thanks to all of you folks. Yes, indeed, good evening. Yeah, sorry that the internet side were, if I would meet here, but that's good. Thank you. Thanks to all of you. Good evening. Share the show, people. So, like I was saying, there are some things that you don't talk about. For example, I live in a community, or maybe in a little mini neighborhood, or town, or community, or what you may call it. I live there, then I have my car. By the time I park my car, then you see the children, they're going on the car. They, with some of them with their tear trousers, the way we can see, right? Don't get angry too. With their tear trousers, and so forth. Then I'm proud. I'm proud of that. Sometimes I open the car door and put maybe any of my children, or maybe I put Mary out of the car, or I put Mary in the car to carry Mary. Amen. Amen. Life. I don't know what some of you can feel, but some of us, whenever we see these things, it break us down. Let me be free. So, Senior Freeman, with all of the boasting you're doing, you wearing watch that cost 400,000. That's a society that we live in. And just because you want to protect that watch, that's why you are pretending like, in fact, you opening political party, you having a political party here, because you want to do these things so that the government that will be in power because of the bad system, so that you always be seen as someone who, is a politician. And Senior Freeman had DSTV, for example. Senior Freeman had DSTV. So they're attacking it, or maybe they met a politician and they want to say, no, Senior Freeman, you don't have to be boosted. But again, that's the society we live in. People will boast. Even the yeah, well, first, let's share the show. Good evening. We're back after the weekend, it's good. But please, even if you enjoy life, look around you. See your surrounding. Even if you live in the tall fence, only in Africa, especially for Liberia, we see people build, we call them a fence, they put, to tell you that they brought this thing, they just brought. I'm not hiding. Let me tell some of you today, maybe you can be, sometimes people feel sorry for someone, for maybe where you live, maybe who, everywhere in my community, the first security for me is my neighbors. Those people who myself live in the community. They are my first security. I tell you just something. Maybe just think about me, or even my door, someone knocking my door and say, never. Before you even come to yourself, people finish arresting you. One of my neighbors. I don't need barrage of security. I don't need contact to be calling AFL people, to be calling police, to be calling immigration, to be calling here. No. For me, I have so many contacts, but I don't care. The law is the law, so I go by the law. Look, I respect the law and I respect human dignity. If you go in my community right now, or you go where I live, do it. Since my eyes open, there's my third place that I'm living now. I live on the capital bypass for the past 14 years. If you go back there, my records are there. I moved down Duport Road for the past 3 to 4, 5 years. Now I move around the Joe Bar Belt. Let me tell some of you. I left on Duport Road with my landlord. Today, if you go back there, the records are there. My landlord, up to now, my landlord still having 2 months of rent that I paid for. He listened to me, maybe he listening. When I was moving, you don't even know. But I told you, I said, no, I have to move. Yeah, I need, I'm having a large family now, so I have to find maybe another bigger area. So I have to move. And my landlord felt bad. Someone that stole my wedding. But maybe what am I done to you? Any problem, maybe? Any issue, we can solve it out. I said, no, nothing wrong. No, I just wanted to have some space. And today, the way I move, I'm not even 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 months there yet. Or you go there, people just ask for me. Just say, maybe they will show you my place. I'm not in hurry. Some of you today who are insulting us back to back, if you go in your community, you have terrible records. But yesterday, the politicians see you as the way of life. Share the show, people. Today we have so many things to talk about. Good, Brother Ali is here already. Let's share the show. So many things. 9 minutes past 6. That's the time check. People will insult you. Even your own colleagues that you worked with before. As long as you continue to speak out the truth, they will insult you just because they want to get car too now. Who don't want to ride car? Who don't want to live their flagrant lives? Senior Freeman is living flagrant lives, so he's boasting that indeed they watch their own hand worth 400,000. But ask him in the community that he lives, What's the impact that the society will find ourselves in? Well, my dear brother Ali, good evening. How you doing, brother? Everything?
Maybon, good afternoon from my end. Good afternoon to our listening audience and followers. Thank God, my brother. I'm trying. How are you? How's the family? How was the weekend?
Well, I'm doing great, my dear brother. Thank God for life. And always good, apart from the situation back home. Every day there are so many things to talk about. But from my end, well, no matter how situation go for me, I can survive on Gary. I can survive on anything. So that's the kind of good thing with some of us. So that's why all of the politicians that will be accusing journalists, that will be accusing people here and there, they will not see no one record. Even telephone call for me to say, they are today. No, no, no. So I'm okay. And I'm happy with the life. I just want for Liberia to get better. That's some of us, that's our prayer. But I'm okay, my dear brother. And how the family doing?
Thank God, my man. Thank God. Everybody okay. We give God the glory. Yes. How the country? What the latest update?
Well, thank you, my brother. The country is here, Liberia, as usual. So many things happening back home, ranging from the issue of drugs, right now. When you go on the internet, by the time you put your internet on, either one or two death news that you will hear about our young people who some of them believe to be in their 20s. Yes, indeed. Every day there are death news back to back, like a pandemic. Someone will say. So yeah, from the drug situation back home is indeed alarming, and I don't know what next. What are the government going to do? What are some of the measures the government going to put in place to stop this? Because mind you, if this continue, a huge portion of our young generation is gradually going away because from the issue of spark and that. So again, yes, the economy, the USD rate now, at least it has now been placed on the signpost or the signboard. Those of you who have seen the US rate now is 170. Some places you will see 170, some places 170.5. So the US rate is outside now is showing, but for the past 2 weeks, the business people they had a US rate from the people. They were like changing the way they want to, but the US rate now they put it outside. They are now telling the people that no need for to ask question. So the US rate is now on the signpost. You will see it, and either you choose to change your money for the rate of 170, or you just hold it, or maybe you just, but you have to. So the US rate has dropped from 200 to 170, and the commodities prices, some are still remain the same, while some are dropping. Indeed, apart from that, also our leaders, our president, and that of his delegates, they are staying in the U.S. Mind you, they left, I think, some week ago now for the UNGA that will be taking place anytime in this month. So they are there in their series of concern about the president whereabout. And on today, the executive mansion were able to have some release about the president interaction with the late Minister of State family, Minister Grigsby, the late and family. So I think Liberia and they are aware that at least the president is active and having some interactions with some Liberians in the US. Yeah. So apart from that, my dear brother, so many things to talk about. So many things. The issue of job creations are still the same. The issue of politics, hatreds, divisions, and so forth. All of these things are still seen in the political cycle of our country, and people are having their own say. With the latest, I just follow Brother Benendi Koruba and that Mo Ali on the on our sister program, the OKFM, and he says something that indeed Liberia is hugely divided, even in the church or even among the religious people. So I think these are things, or these are issues of concern that I think our people have to look at. That the issue of divisions is strongly among us, and with the issue of that 14 years old and another minister is still there, and Liberians are still calling for the government to arrest the deputy minister, Minister Mangiu, so that he will be behind bar instead of him just parading or passing around or maybe walking scot-free, according to unconfirmed reports. Even among some of the Liberians, including the legal counsel, Council of Tier 1 Gongolo, also who also added his voice to the many voices that indeed the deputy minister should be arrested and be placed behind bar, because mind you, the issue of rape is not bearable. How come he's walking scot-free is just because he's quote unquote government official or big person, as you may call. So yeah, my brother, these are things in other trending national news. We will inform our people. Yes, indeed. But we are on YouTube. Who's hello? Who that person coming, brother? Ali, before you come in, Dannyton, I think Bali, right? We are on YouTube though. If you look behind me, the video you are seeing behind me on the screen is YouTube. So if you say that we are not on YouTube, then you got to check. Check. Okay. So yeah, so brother Ali, so far so good. These are some of the trending national issues back home, and yes. So for international news, maybe you are there and you will fill us in as to some of the happening around the world.
Yeah, Mabon, thank you there. And the issue here about this uh minister with a rape allegation, I think this is not good for our country. There were other people who was alleged for raping, and immediately those people were arrested, cuffed, and put behind bars while the investigation was ongoing. But why is it that today we get this man McGill? He stay outside. He wrote the president to give him leave where he need to go through his case. I don't think this is something good for our country. This government, everything about them is being selective. And the same thing happened with Numade. There was an allegation on him for rape. We don't know even how that other story ended today. And he was passing around freely till today. Like whole case died down. The same thing again with another minister or deputy minister whatsoever in this government about this allegation on him. Why when it comes to other people, they will be arrested and put behind bars while investigation is ongoing when it comes to government officials and they get them passing around. So now the law only covers certain people. I don't think that's something good. This is why you will see another minister will go and do it because there were no precedent set. When the allegation was leveled against or normally if he were to be arrested and placed behind bars, I think that will set as precedent. Any other minister that want to temper with somebody, Charlie will be thinking what happened to Numade. But Numade did it, he went free, and today it is McGill and he passing. They show that the government does not even care for the citizen. Because if you know as a government official, as a president, vice president, you people in the country, speaker, senate pro tem, all of you get girls, children, you get great grandchildren, you get grandchildren. You have to empathize it. Why if it were my daughter? Why if it were my grandchild, such a thing happen? How am I going to handle this situation? You have to empathize that little girl situation as yours. And then you see how you can deal with my girl. My girl should have been behind by saying they think him out. Last week, Wednesday, but up to now, he's passing. So I don't think this is justice for the country. People who were in the country during the past administration, when such a thing happened, we see women in black, they're doing everything, protesting in the street. The Association of Female Lawyers of Liberia, AFA, where are they today? A 14-year-old have been tampered with, and they are all in the country, they are silent on it. Why is it thing that people protested against, things that people spoke against during the previous administration? These things are happening times 10 in this administration, and people remain quiet. So it was only the previous administration that those things were wrong. But today, under Joseph Baka, they are good. I don't think this is something good for our people or government that claim to be the most responsible and sophisticated government in the country. This is not about a political party. What was bad yesterday should also be bad today. It shouldn't be something yesterday it was wrong, but today it is correct. I don't think this is something good for our country. And if this is how Joseph Baka is going to govern the country, I don't think he will end up with any good record or any good name. This is bad. This is injustice. That's not fair. They should do everything to have my girl arrested and placed behind bars just as they did to other people. Other than that, we will hear more rape cases coming from government officials before the 6 year end because they know they are government officials, they can do it and nothing can come out of it. But this is not good.
Wonderful. This is not good. But quickly, I have a series of questions to ask you. But before that, I want to play the video of the council, Tion Gonglo, on this issue. Mind you, because the poor people that will always speak for, even though some of them they will come here and attack us, insult us, and say what they want to say. But if they're one of them, or maybe their brother or their uncle or so forth, by them, by this time this person is in jail or beyond bar. So let's listen to the council. Then I will ask you, ask a question.
I'm here to speak to you about a very important training issue. As a criminal justice expert, someone who has been a solicitor general and has been teaching criminal law for years, teacher at the police academy, I am so angry this morning to hear that Deputy Minister McGill, the man who was accused of raping a 14-year-old girl, is passing up and down the street. He should be in the police cell. That he are not being arrested. We cannot have selective justice. Article 11C of the Constitution calls for equal protection. The same way you treat people from West Point, Soniwan, or Vubadi in Sino, when they are accused of crime, the same way you should treat a high official of government. Why do I say so? When I was Solicitor General, and my good friend Roland Khan was senator, and the police came to me with a report, a team led by Sam Sion, chief of investigation at that time, and said, we are investigating, but Senator Roland Khan's name has featured as a co-conspirator. I said, go and arrest him. I will answer the question. They told me, oh, he's a member of the Senate. Can we write the Senate to excuse him to be arrested? I said, no, there's nothing in the law that says so. He was immediately arrested and put at the back of the pickup, handcuffed along with other defendants. All suspects of crime must be treated the same way. What is happening now undermines the error in the arrest agenda. It undermines the rule of law. I'm calling upon the police to immediately arrest former Deputy Minister McGill. He should be former Deputy Minister. This is wrong for a man who was appointed, nominated and confirmed by the Senate to protect the young people and to carry on youth development to become a threat to the survival of the young people is not anything that the government should take lightly. I'm calling upon President Boakai to tell the police director to move speedily, because these are the things that can make the police disrespected in the communities. The whole country is watching. If this high official of government is not treated like they can treat anyone who is unknown, suspected of statutory rape, the next time police go somewhere to arrest someone who is not of the same stature, the people will resist. But when a big man is treated in the same way a small person will be treated on suspicion of committing crime, police don't have much work to do. The people tend to cooperate, have trust in the police. So I'm calling upon the police director to immediately get on this. I have credibility to say this. I've been Solicitor General. I'm a criminal law professor. There is no justification for this man being out right now. I'm calling upon all actors in government, even members of the civil society, let us put the pressure to make sure that the victim gets justice.
Wonderful. Thank you. So, Brother Ali, what say you? There are so many things that have been said by the council, ranging from the error in the arrest agenda to the perpetrator being out for a little time now and there's no justice. And even if the layman gave example about the poor people, even Melbourne who's sitting behind the microphone today, if Melbourne, some of the supporters or followers today, but this time, some of them they will even be at my house or so forth. But what say you? Let's do a bit by bit. Let's go to the arrow, the rule of law. Is that the kind of system that we all pray for, to see that whenever something happens to the big person, then we lead them and say, okay, yes, you know, that person, that big person, so let's lead them. But if the little man, we say 25 years in prison, even some of those accused rapists or people who've been raping here and there, even though their cases are still on docket, they haven't yet been whether they were maybe quote unquote their law been passed, but they are still in prison, going through all of the prison terms up to the time their cases or their case will come out to be maybe or hear about. But what say you? What this should I speak to?
Maybe when you just listen to Mr. Gongo, he said it. This undermine the rule of law and even undermine the integrity of the government, that arrest and gender. This undermines it as well. So I think the best thing there, as you made when you said, and I said it from the beginning, there are people who have been behind bars for more than a year or years just for rape allegation. But today you get Magio passing around. What are you showing to the Liberian people? I don't think this is good for the government and the police. They are sitting there. So tomorrow, Friday, a common man may rape or there's an allegation on him for raping, and you will see the police going to have him arrested. Why if he put up resistance? You see, why if people come around and say, no, this man cannot go? What moral integrity you will have as a government to say, no, you will want to force this man to carry him, when you have a minister or deputy minister who allegedly raped and you have him passing around, but the common man raped today, there's an allegation on him and you're going to have him arrested to put him behind bars. So the rule of law from day one, and this is one of the reasons why you see this government is going after your bossman Musa Hassan Bility. Because this is a government, they are not respecter of law, they doesn't believe in respecting the rule of law and the constitution. So anyone who wants to stand by the rule of law and the constitution, this government will go after you. And we have been seeing it over and over, starting from the president. And this is what's going on. So this undermine the rule of law that these people campaign on, that the error in the arrest agenda stands for rule of law. There is no rule of law. Because if you're talking about rule of law today, we should see Mr. McGill behind bars while his investigation is ongoing, just as they did it to other people. So this is not good for the government. And even those females, like Senate Pro Tem, Yombi Kanga Lawrence, not because your children in America here, they can rape everywhere. It can happen anywhere, everywhere in the world. Raping is going on. But just empathize that little girl condition. Why if she was your daughter or your grandchild? You being Senate Pro Tem, I think this is something you have to stand up as a government to make sure you're putting behind bars.
So let's go back to what you just stated, but Ali, even though Senator Yomdi Kanga Lawrence and the other Senator Drivers, they have their own take on that issues, and I think they post there, and they were calling also for this individual to be beyond back. But then let's move backward to the leaders, because every time, you know, the ringleader to our followers out there, those of you who are following, listening to us, or maybe watching, they say any other team the unit does, the commander take charge, right? Good. So if you know the kind of a parable or saying, today, former President Weah have been receiving all of the largest, even though his government is out. But guess what? Most of the government officials that were given opportunity to serve, where are they today? They are all settling and still shifting the blames on the former president. In short, what I'm saying is that those of you who are supporters, that are supporters, those of you who are people who think that You went into the trenches. You went into the villages. You went into these communities to convince people to vote for Joseph Boakai today as president. You said that some of you, you fold your hand because you haven't yet reached to your doorstep. Anything happen, like Brother Ali just stated, if the government will move tomorrow, the name of former President Boakai will go as whether you did well or whether you fail or not. So I think, Brother Ali, by this time, we even if there will be any kind of more time given, by this time we're expecting the deputy minister to be beyond, but because look at where he served, youth development. Instead of you nurturing the young people, giving them hope for life, they already feel disappointed. In fact, they are already distressed just because of the condition of their life back here. That even when they graduate from either school, colleges, or university around here, nothing to do. When you put up lab, how you may call it part-time job. You see thousands of our young people parading, looking for something to do. And you still going ahead abusing them. So, Brother Aliu, yes, it's right. Why you think that this government is adamant, or maybe even some of the religious people, some of the those people that were focused yesterday, why you think that they are quiet? It's just that because maybe they think that no, it's our government. Anything the government do, well, we will like it. Is that why you are saying? Because mind you, if the government fail, the name of the president will go. And if the president or if the government do well, the name of the president will also go. But what say you, Brother Ali?
Maybe this is one of my greatest frustrations right now. Yes, as I said previously, those things that people protested in the country during the previous administration, those things that happened, they say, oh, this is not good. People were all in the street. Why is it today that people are silent when these things are happening times 10? They are not even say happening times 2 in Joseph Boakai government. So Liberian people trying to tell us that the country belongs to only Unity Party. That when they are in power, anything they do, they agree with it. But when other people come to power, when they do something is wrong. And this is what I can get. So perhaps maybe the people they are satisfied, one Unity Party is in power, anything they do, they are happy with it, they accept it. But tomorrow, when another government happy to come and take over, when this thing continue to happen again, God forbid, this kind of lawlessness and recklessness, and then you will see people all in the street protesting and burning tire in front of the executive mansion, in front of the city hall. People will be doing these things. So it's the Liberian people they are resolved to settle down with the Unity Party, because these same people that were protesting yesterday or in the street, they are still in Liberia. And these same things were happening yesterday, they were protesting. Why are they sitting today? Are they afraid? Because this government is a government, the moment you talk, they go after you. Anything you do, they go after you. So is this the safety Joseph Boakai brought to the country? To intimidate people, to put fear in people that even when they're doing something, nobody can come out to speak. Because when you speak, the government will come after you. I think maybe they are resolved, they satisfied with the government, or maybe they are afraid of their life, their safety, and things. That's why they remain quiet. But
let's go back to the issue of change, Brother Aliu. And in fact, you just said something about the behavior of our people. Every now and then they want change. You know, that one good thing that I really admire of them. Every day they want change. Every time of their lives they want change. But when their government that they sacrifice their lives for, because mind you, we saw that during the campaign period, which of course we were on this platform calling for peace, calling for kind, that don't kill yourself for politicians. Politicians will come and go, but Liberia remain peaceful and so on. But most of our brothers, by them, they just think that maybe by the time the president get in power, that means everything just going to be bread and butter. But today, most of them now they are feeling that okay, so the hard politics look okay, so the hard things were okay. But Monk, let me say Monk, let's go back with the kind of politics, because we play the UL student video because there where we're heading to. We have three major topics: the issue of the rape, the U.S. soccer, and that of the drugs issue, the drug claimants, and go to the line to take calls. But those of you who just joining us, want to say welcome to the Monday edition of the Sktv show. From our fact, today is the 15th of September, the 9 month, and the year remain the same, 2025. Love Liberia, think Liberia, and build Liberia. So yeah, so Brother Ali, most of most of the time you will see our people standing up for politicians during election time. Even now, some of them they are still doing it. But Brother Ali, why is it so difficult for our people? They know the problem. Even the politicians, they know the problem, but the politicians are the direct beneficiary of the problem. So for them, it's like game. For them, they see it like, okay, we will continue to play the game, and at the same time we'll get rich, because some of them they have two, three, passports. Some of them they have diplomatic passports. Everywhere they go with the passports, and they have money in their phones, they have money in their bank accounts. So for them, they see it like, okay, we'll play the game, and let's see who this game will maybe affect. Whether it's the common people or it's us, we the politicians. So that go back. How come our people will always go to the line to vote for our for the politicians? They know the ills, they know that they're happening, and at the end of the day, sometimes they just feel weak and say, okay, let me just forget about it and wait for 2029. Like I posted on my Facebook page about saying that was not saying that, in fact, he and no one in any league is in his own league, while the people in 2025 league or 2029 league, and they're always waiting for 2029. Why are they not holding their government accountable for the right thing to be done? But Ali.
Maybe this is why Liberia will always say we get a long way to go, because people believe to themselves that when you elected someone, you voted for them, you stand there now to agree with the person. Anything they do from the beginning of this government, they started with we agree. During the campaign time, anything you say, they say we agree. And government in, government out is not just Joseph Baka alone. Even during our administration, the same thing happened. There was something we were doing, it wasn't right, and people were speaking, and some of us were there to defend the government. We can speak out because we feel to ourselves, oh yes, once we elected this government, anything they're doing, we have to agree to them. We have to support them. We have to back them in their wrong. And this is why our country we get a long way to go. In as much as we will elect leaders, and when they are doing wrong, we can speak out. We don't tell them they are wrong, and instead we're there to praising them. Then the country will not go anywhere. But if we elect these leaders, and then when they are doing wrong, we stand up to speak. We who elected you, we are disappointed. This is not what we elected you for. I think if we continue that as Liberians, we will start to have good leaders that will know, oh yes, we are not fool. As they say, Liberia is the second lowest IQ country in the world. If we start to do that, putting our leaders feet to the fire, and then they will try to benefit us. But right now, when you go on Facebook just now, when you say negative thing about the government, 50% will support you. If you go, you say positive thing about the government, 50 people will support you. So the country is heavily divided. These are some of the things. In as much as we fail to stand up to put our leaders feet to the fire, like I will always say, the people in Kenya did the poor protests that happened there. The same people that elected the president, they were the ones that staged the first protest. Because why? He took office immediately. He decided to go opposite of what he promised them. And he said, no, we can't sit and allow this to happen. Immediately, he did a 360-degree turn and start to get on the red path of what he promised the people. Can we do that in Liberia? No, we don't do that. When we elect these people, we enslave ourselves to them that they can use on any way, anyhow they feel like. And this is why they continue to do what they are doing. How many people will stand up to say, oh yeah, we supported the government, we are going to stand up against them, we are going to do this. We the one brought this government to power, and we will be the one to put their feet to the fire. Nobody will do that. But instead, the day the government go and give few people one cup of water, they will say, oh yeah, the government doing well. Out of 5 million people, you go, you get 10 person one cup of water, they say, oh yeah, come and praising for the government is doing well. You see? And this is why you see our government, politicians, neighbor will be sleeping. The moment I go to a hall, they say Aliu Masaleya, he will jump up from his bed. He will come to me because that's election time. He need my support. But when neighbor become representative or senator, when I go to a hall, even when he's sleeping, he will say, you tell me or I stay in bed. Before, you are not in bed, but now you in bed. Sometimes we say that we don't see you the moment you get outside, oh, but my man are running late, I go for session, I go for meeting. You get no time to listen to me. Because we agree to be used by these people, and this is why they continue to use us, and the country is going backward. Instead of all putting our feet to the fire, we are there to praising them. This is not about one
Indeed.
government.
Indeed, my brother, from 2006, those of you, maybe some of you who just doing politics, I know, I understand sometimes when you post or when you comment on some of us on
Neighbor,
our,
you sure we are on YouTube? Because I tried searching here, I can't see us on YouTube.
but I don't know, but I'm watching, I keep saying, but then just go to SKTV-Lib, you will see it. Those of you, it's SKTV-Lib on YouTube because that's what I'm watching at the back. So if you see me at the back or you see us, that means we are on YouTube. But check because I'm seeing the YouTube is okay here from the system. But check anyway. So again, but I need to just add up to what you just said. You're right, 100%. There are a lot of us Liberians.
Okay,
If not,
yes, it is there. SKTV, yeah, it's there. So when you
okay,
put SKTV-Lib, it is, yes, the YouTube is
yes, indeed, it will pop up. That's good. Thank you. So most of us, if not 98% of the citizens in Liberia, but value, they prefer to worship politicians. They prefer to worship political party than the country. That's why when I see some of them want to restrict the thing to you don't love country. You don't love country. Perhaps up right now, you have all of the assets of the internet. Go on AI, perhaps about Rwanda. You know, I was just passing through Brother Aliu to check about Rwanda, the lawmakers or the parliament, how much they make and so forth. And you won't believe that the people are making around 2,000. And we're like, wow. So if you have your own government, a country that's from war, we and Rwanda, some of you don't know today, Rwanda declare free visa for Africa or for all Africans. People were jumping here and there. We and Rwanda, we fought war together. Maybe some of you know even, but our own surpass because for us, we feel that greediness is our area, so we'll not end the war soon. But go back, go back to Rwanda, a country that fought war, and their war, the first some of you go there and do your own research. Compare Rwanda to that of Liberia by this time. Almost all of our young people now and there, they are going to Rwanda for what? Better education. Some of them, they are commenting, in fact, they've been commenting on the UL saga. Oh, yes, they're good. Let them close soup. This is not happening in Rwanda. This is not happening. How would that happen in Rwanda when the system in Rwanda is better? Who will want to protest or who will want to speak against a better system? Then that person may be evil. For someone to speak and criticize a better system where you have water 24 hours on the school campus, you have electricity, you know how to be night school students receiving electricity? No. But right, all of the schools, be it junior, be it elementary, be it colleges or whatever you may call it, supposed to be having 24-hour electricity and be having water. You cannot sit there, for example, on the plank chair or wooden chair or so forth. You graduate from high school, you go to university, and you stay fighting for chair. It's backwardness. It's complete backwardness. So when I see some of you acting like you want to defend, you want to get angry, you want to say maybe people don't like you. It's not about people liking government. It's about government doing the right thing for our people. So you are students, I will come to that, but I think they are quite correct. How many people, how many ministers, how many lawmakers, children into so many schools or colleges or even at UL? How many of them there? Where they want those students to be today? Go there and see bathroom. You will shed tears. Like someone was telling me, Brother Ali, before I come back to you, a strong supporter of Unity Party said to me, a lady, she said, Mabel, to a mate, in fact, I'm disappointed to a mate with the way things are going. Because if our president about to travel, according to her, they will make things available. They will make money available for the president and his delegates to travel. But when it comes to things that matter to the people here, maybe one day will say no money. I say, oh. So I laugh. I say, oh, so you are not grabbing the thing we can be saying, right? So no, but maybe I have no issue with you people. Everything you people saying is just a fact. When it comes to the president traveling and his delegates, what are they 40 or the way you can call it, or what are they 10 or what are they 15? The DSA, all their allowance and everything will be available. But let us say something happened to you in a community. They say no money. They got to put in for budget. You have UL. The state-run university look like dump site. And people think that it's normal. You think that it's normal that the children or the students, they should bear that and feel that, oh yeah, you know, that's just normal thing. But Brother Ali, for me, I don't get that. Even when people ask me about politics, Brother Ali, my answer will be the same. It can be so, yeah, because for me, I think we're not going nowhere. I may be frank. No matter what kind of changes we choose to do, until the people can stand up and get tired with all of these things and say, yes, enough is enough. We got to break this yoke. We got to break this cartel. That's the only way that Liberia will move forward. But go ahead, my dear brother.
The private Mabel, first of all, just as you said, they will get budget shortfall. But lawmakers' salary will not be shortfall, their benefits. All of these things are coming on time. So when they say budget shortfall, it can affect these people, their salaries and allowances and what have you. You see, they see government today, everything they want to justify it. When President Baka left the country recently, went to Japan, and people had so many things to say. Oh yeah, the president was going, or these other people were to go and meet these other people. These other people were to go for the other meeting. So that was the reason why he carried all of these people behind him. And now, if you say, oh yes, George Weah left the country because he had about 6 to 7 engagement at that time. He never want to come to the country, going back and forth. So he used all of this time that he spent this time out of the country. No, it was wrong at that time. But today, President Baka is good. That when lawmaker or government officials supposed to attend program and other program, and the president is traveling, they can just go at once and cover all of these programs. You see, everything that was wrong yesterday, they are good today. Rwanda, the fourth war. We too, we fought war. But today, even my brother-in-law, yes, he's there. He's doing his master program. Some of my friends, they are in Rwanda doing their master program. During their own war in Rwanda, they were not after destroying their country. They know what they were fighting for. But during our war, we were after destroying our country. See, they had you there. Just quite recently, during the election time, when the fight was going on between the CBC and Unity Party in Lofa County, what we saw Unity Party people doing, and they were trying to, then they were rooting all the lepo that someone fala plenty to get street light. That's why we are good at, and this is why our country is where it is today. Any small thing we want to destroy our country, the development that we carry on, that what we want to destroy. So you think, how are we going to build a country? When you come to power, when are you going to start? when Madam Seni and Joseph Boakai were over there, they waived all the debt Liberia owed. All the money that they received, Liberia received the highest ever in the history of West Africa or in our country after the war. Because what? And they sat over there for 12 years. What did they do? Joseph Boakai said they squandered all of the opportunity they had. And you see, you take the same man who said they squander opportunity, you gave him a country to control, to manage. You see why you expect from him? You see? So when the president ready to travel, their traveling allowance, everything will be available. But when they say no medicine to JFK, no medicine to Redemption Hospital, they will say no money. We're waiting for the budget. But the president who is always there. Okay, the money always there, his traveling allowance, everything, the budget is all, the money is there, they put it in the budget for him to use. But when it comes to putting medicine in the hospital, when it comes to the University of Liberia, as all the female students that are attending the University of Liberia, even some of the male students, every one of them get antibiotics in their bag. The moment they use the bathroom, they had to go take it because of infection. See how disgusting, how dirty, stinking the bathroom are at the University of Liberia. Even look at the building, you will know how dirty that place is. Joseph Boakai that they play your guy, from your boy, your you see,
but let
that
me not
woman
cut
there
you off.
today,
30
what they are
seconds.
doing about that university?
Yeah, 30 seconds quickly before we bring Brother Abraham comment on. And just where some of these things even get to me. Parents who have their children going to UL. So even if the children they are struggling to even make things right, sometimes we want to see the parents themselves. Even okay, let's assume that maybe some of these students they don't have parents, maybe they are self-supported or so forth. But some of you parents, you stand up, say no. This thing have been like that forever, ever since. We got to come and stop this kind of behavior that the school carry the name of Liberia. Anytime when you go on the internet, you browse, the first thing they will bring you here. To where our children are going. That every day that noise, every time that protest. No, we got to go there we ourselves and see. As to let the government come and beat all of us. We want this thing to come to our end. I live years in, years out. No parents. But again, Brother Ebi, thank you for joining us. And I know you were in, but you have a little busy schedule. You just take a few minutes to join us. But good evening and thank you for coming on.
Thank you very much, Mavon. Let me say good evening to you and good afternoon to Aliu in the States here.
Yes.
Fascinating topic. Mavon, like you said, for me, I really don't have the time every time to come on, but in between the topic you guys are discussing right now that has to do with the education sector, especially the University of Liberia, it just kind of caught my attention as I just wanted to have an input real quick. And, just for the record, that school, that's my alma mater over there too. I'm a product of that institution. Okay? But until Liberians allow history to guide them, the right things will never be done. Just a few years ago, Mabon, that very soup was used. The children, their demonstration on our campus was politically weaponized for the betterment of the Unity Party. They benefited from their actions. They were in opposition. Everything that the students' demonstration was going on over there, they kind of literally sanctioned them to the point that, Mabel, if you just recall, even the sitting vice president of of the Republic of Liberia at that time, Madam Joa Howard Taylor, Finance Minister Tuwe, Senator Magay, and others who happened to be product of that University of Liberia. When they used to visit the University of Liberia, the students used to run them out of that campus. They used to literally run them out of that place, taking stone and things that we don't want you on our campus yet. And Unity Party people at the time, they celebrated those actions. Evidence, case in point. The student leader at that time, Yusuf Kamara, today is in the employ of the United Party government because he was the one orchestrating a lot of the things over there that were taught in the waters of the particular United Party at the University of Liberia. So they have made the students to see those kind of behavior as a way forward to gain relevance. Of course, they got legitimate concerns. But today, for them to come talk about the banning student demonstration, they're trying to literally malign the students for their legitimate concerns over there. But just a few years, they were the ones sanctioning this behavior. So I just wanted to point out for people not to forget those things. Indeed, they politically weaponized those behavior. It benefited them, but today they don't want to hear it. Since the Samuel Doe era, or even the Charles Taylor era, for the government to publicly come out and talk about banning student protests or student agitation on campus, I don't remember that. But this government, that a bulk of the student leaders, even the Martin Colley at the time at the University of Liberia, the Yusuf Kamara, and they were there. But today they benefited the United Party. So if you bring that up, I was just constrained to point that out. By the way, at the time you're talking about, I was way out of the University of Liberia so many years ago. But that was not the condition of that university. Even when the bullets were flying in our country, that was not the condition of that university today that we got over there. So completely dilapidated. In the United States, a lot of those buildings, they were completely condemned, and people would not even be going in there in the United States.
This question to you, Brother AB.
Just so before you come in your question, another thing I wanted to point out. There were lawmakers in Liberia that were talking about stoning a sitting president. There were lawmakers in Liberia that literally insulted the president on a daily basis. Today, those things are very, very annoying to this United Party government that they don't want to tolerate it at all. But it benefited them. So I just wanted to point those things out, Abel. Yeah, so you can go to your question, Abel.
Wonderful. So let's go back to, because I hear you talking about, some people are seeing this thing like, oh, it's wrong to do. Oh, the children, they don't want to disturb and so forth. But let's go back to the learning environment. Every time we see most of our people are always accusing, the student body that they always disturbing. But let's go back to the environment, Brother AB. Do you think that the UL of Liberia is really up to standard, is up to date when it comes to the learning environment?
But maybe it's glaring. I mean, it's glaring that you see buildings. Forget about even the instructional staff willingness to go to class, but the environment itself in terms of health hazard. Look at the sitting capacity. Look at the structure of the buildings. I mean, how can you go in a completely dirty bathroom and feel that and think that people will not leave from there with ailment? That in itself. And then secondly, look at the budget of the University of Liberia. The president of the university telling you that the allocations that are made, almost about 95% is only on salaries. It's a known fact, Mabel. So this government,
she said that. In fact, I think in one of the release quickly, we'll soon be going for the news break. I think she also talked about I think close to almost 41 million that were given, and nearly 33 million also go for salary. I said, what?
Yes.
Can you imagine that?
so if you get such going on, the infrastructure development of the institution would never be accomplished. So in that
and the reason why the people are taking pay, but AB, thank you. We went for the news break. When we come back, we will continue with that, and maybe if you can still be on with us, and you will also chip in on most of our discussion. Also, at 7:30, we'll go to the line to interact with our people. Thank you so much, brother AB and Dada Ali. You also go on a little bit. So people, that's the kind of thing, that's the kind of the reason why the professors are taking pay at UAD is because of the students. When there are no students, they won't take salaries. So let's take the student number one. Thank you. Let's go for the news break. We'll come back. Trust me, we will continue with the show up to 8 o'clock on tonight. I'm John Simi Evan Kula.
Say Gonglo criticizes government for failing to arrest Deputy Youth and Sports Minister Brian Mangil following rape allegation against him. Tricycle riders in Painesville accuse traffic officers of constant harassment. Government of Liberia announces the arrival of the first consignment of 720 metric tons of rice donated by the People's Republic of China. Of the Home Front Police forcibly removed Ghanaian Auditor General in reshuffle route. Those are the headlines, not the news in details. Renowned human rights lawyer Councillor Terwonse Gunklo has criticized the government for failing to arrest Deputy Youth and Sports Minister Brian Mangil. Minister Mangil has been accused of raping a 14-year-old girl, a daughter of an employee of the Ministry of Youth and Sports. Speaking via a Facebook podcast Monday, Councillor Gunglo said it is unacceptable that Minister Mangil is freely walking while ordinary citizens accused of crimes are swiftly detained. He accused the government of Liberia of carrying out selective justice, warning that it undermines the rule of law and erodes public trust in the Liberia National Police. He further called on President Joseph Boakai to instruct the Director General of Police to act swiftly, stressing that justice must be equal for both ordinary citizens and government officials. Aggrieved tricycles, commonly known as keke operators in Painesville, are accusing officers of the Liberia National Police and Liberia Traffic Management of persistent harassment. Speaking to RCI News over the weekend, the rally expressed frustration over what they described as the unfair insurance of traffic tickets, particularly for improper parking. The cyclists argued that the lack of designated parking areas for tricycles in the city leaves them with no choice but to stop in an authorized zone, something they termed as being unfairly penalized by police. They are calling on the government to construct adequate parking lots to ease congestion and ensure smoother traffic flow, which they believe will also reduce tensions between riders and traffic officers. The government of Liberia has announced the arrival of the first consignment of 720 metric tons of rice donated by the People's Republic of China. The donation marks a significant step in ongoing bilateral cooperation aimed at addressing food security in the country. According to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, the initial shipment consisting of 720 metric tons of rice, equivalent to approximately 14,400 bags of 25 kg rice, is scheduled to dock at the free port of Monrovia on Saturday, September 20, 2025. The Foreign Ministry says the remaining consignments will follow in phases between October and November this year, bringing the total grain to 3,600 metric tons. The rice donation was secured during a high-level bilateral agreement between President Joseph Boakai and Chinese President Xi Jinping during the Forum on China-Africa Cooperation held in Beijing on September 6, 2024. Monserrado County District 3 Representative Sumo Moba has called for a three-part strategy to combat drug crimes rather than death penalty against human that's just traffickers and importers. In a statement, Representative Moba warned that such proposal violates international human rights standards and could damage Liberia's global image, especially as the country holds a non-permanent seat on the United Nations Security Council. Representative Moba, a public policy expert, called for a three-part strategy to combat drug crimes, including prevention, education, rehabilitation, and strong enforcement backed by proper funding and international cooperation. He emphasized that Liberia is bound by international treaties, including the Second Optional Protocol to the International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights, which bans capital punishment. The president of the Liberia Baptist Missionary and Education and Convention has expressed the hope that values of godliness, character, and integrity and excellence will enable them serve humanity and their country in the best way. The convention's president, Reverend Dr. Samuel Reeves, said Rick's Institute has equipped the graduates with the necessary knowledge, training, and love for humanity and country, cautioning them to exhibit these skills as they continue their studies in institutions of higher learning. The statements of Reverend Dr. Samuel Reeves was contained in a speech delivered on his behalf by Reverend Maurice Seay, Secretary General of the Liberia Baptist Missionary and Educational Convention at the 2025 commencement of the Rick's Institute in Bureauville during the weekend. The Student Unification Party at the University of Liberia has vowed to never change its demands for the restoration of a peaceful and smooth academic calendar at the institution by the university's administration. Secretary General Odysseus Moba noted that students at the state-run university are prepared to take the administration head-on if they fail to adhere to their needs. Addressing the spread conference held at the main campus of the University of Liberia on Monday, Moba maintained that no amount of threats will make SUB give out their demands, adding that U administration and the government are aware of their requests. The Minister of Post and Telecommunications, Sekou Kuman, has outlined major accomplishments by his ministry aimed at bringing Liberia's digital divide, enhancing national connectivity, and stimulating economic growth through innovative telecommunications and postal services. Speaking at the second edition of the Kapaku Londo Government Town Hall Initiative held at the Administrative Hall in Sanikole, Nima County, Minister Kuman emphasized the ministry's focus on people-centered policies aligned with the arrest agenda, which prioritizes agriculture, roads, rule of law, education, sanitation, and tourism. He noted that their achievements reflect a deliberate effort to digitize Liberia, empower Liberian youth, and ensure that no community, whether in Boston, Morovia, or the resilient hills of Nimba, is left behind. The management of the Liberia Water and Sewer Corporation is encouraging students undergoing vacations jobs to take advantage of their professional skills by thoroughly observing various professions and fields in order to prepare themselves for the future. LWSC's Managing Director Moali notified the students of several departments at the corporation to abreast themselves in order to make the right choice as they advance their studies. Mr. Ali made the call when he spoke at the program welcoming 35 vacation job students at the Liberia Water and Sewer Corporation in Morovia on Monday. Amidst internal dispute within the Nimba County Legislative Caucus, several citizens have converged to establish a group under the banner Nimba County Solidarity Movement. According to prominent citizens, the movement is intended to unite the people of Nimba regardless of their political affiliations. Speaking to RCR News over the weekend, former Nimba County District 9 Representative Matonike Tengbe stated that for too long, residents of Nimba have been divided due to political differences. He explained that the key objective of the group is to stop hate and envy among citizens of the county and further unite leaders in order to protect the image of the county. A Liberian activist, Tatos Bekele, has described the rape allegation against Deputy Youth and Sports Minister J. Brian Mangill as a major setback to Liberia's fight against all forms of gender-based violence. Speaking over the weekend, Bekele said it is totally unacceptable for anyone, especially a government official, to use power and influence to abuse teenagers, stressing that such act erode public confidence in state institutions. He noted that incidents of such nature perpetuate fear and silence among victims while weakening the national resolve to uphold justice and protect human rights. Several graduates of the Emmanuel Talu Vocational Training Institute in Lower Mongibi County have lauded the funder for the opportunity provided them. According to them, the knowledge acquired has enabled them to become self-reliant. Over 35 individuals over the weekend received certificates in different disciplines, including tailoring, electricity, pastry, and plumbing from Emmanuel Talu Vocational Training Institute in Lower Mongibi County. Speaking to reporters, the graduates thanked the administration, especially the funder, Emmanuel Talu, for the initiative. Well, for his part, Emmanuel Talu said that the institution was established after a comprehensive survey revealed a significant lack of accessible technical and vocational opportunities for young people in District 1, Lomangibi County. Now, out of Liberia, police have physically removed the Gambian's Auditor General Momolu Sise from his office after he refused to give up the post in a government reshuffle carried out by President Ataman Barrow. Sise, who has spent almost 3 years as Auditor General in the West African state, says he had turned down Barrow's recent offer to become Trade Minister. Yet the president insists that Sise originally agreed but later changed his mind. The role has angered many Gambians, with some accusing the president of trying to replace Sise with someone who will share him from corruption allegation. To end the news, a recap of the headlines. Renowned human rights lawyer Councillor Tewose Gonglo criticizes government for failing to arrest Deputy Youth and Sports Minister Brian Mangill following rape allegation against him. Transaco Rathers in Pinsville accused traffic officers of consistent harassment. Government of Liberia announces the arrival of the first consignment of 720 metric tons of rice donated by the People's Republic of China. Out of Liberia, police all suffer row. RCR News Bulletin. Emmanuel Sensi, good evening.
I'm here to speak to you about a very important training issue. As a criminal justice expert, someone who has been a solicitor general and has been teaching criminal law for years, teaching at the police academy, I am so angry this morning to hear that Deputy Minister McGill, the man who was accused of raping a 14-year-old girl, is passing up and down the street. He should be in the police cell, that he are not being arrested. We cannot have selective justice. Article 11C of the Constitution calls for equal protection. The same way you treat people from West Point, Soniwan, of Vubadi in Sino, when they are accused of crime, the same way you should treat a high official of government. Why do I say so? When I was Solicitor General and my good friend Roland Khan was senator, and the police came to me with a report, a team led by Sam Sion, chief of investigation at that time, and said, we are investigating, but Senator Roland Khan's name has featured as a co-conspirator. I said, go arrest him. I will answer the question. They told me, oh, he's a member of the Senate. Can we write the Senate to excuse him to be arrested? I said, no, there's nothing in the law that says so. He was immediately arrested and put at the back of the pickup, handcuffed along with other defendants. All suspects of crime must be treated the same way. What is happening now undermines the error in the arrest agenda. It undermines the rule of law. I'm calling upon the police to immediately arrest former Deputy Minister McGill. He should be former Deputy Minister.
So, Brother Aliu and Della Connect, we're back after the news break. So I'm asking if you people were following the news bulletin, what are some of the things you people capture from the news bulletin?
So far, so good. I think it's just almost the same thing we're discussing here. The rape case, most especially, and other things. Yes. But Mr. Connell was on the floor, so I think he can continue, or maybe something caught your attention in the news, then he can keep on it.
Yes, Brother Connect? Well, so it's like we maybe busy with something, but you will join us anytime soon. Yeah, so again,
Yeah,
before.
maybe.
Okay, yeah, go ahead,
Yeah,
Brother
these
Ali.
are interesting.
So it's like maybe
Hello?
yes, go ahead, we'll get you. Anytime soon. Yeah, so again, before. Okay, yeah, go ahead,
Yeah, the news was it was fascinating. Couple of things, especially both local and international. I think Chinese government made some rice donation to Liberia. I hope it will be used for the intended purpose. It's a donation to Liberia, from my understanding. The suffering masses, I hope they will be the direct beneficiaries of it, as compared to somebody pocketing it somewhere or using it as a political weapon for their own political, personal aggrandizement. I hope that would be the case. So that indeed was fascinating. And then the issue about what transpired in Gambia, I don't know their constitution there, but if indeed the president dismissed the auditor general there, he refused to leave office again. Maybe he has a tenure position that he refused to honor the decision of the president, because we have similar situation in Liberia, but our own, we got a regime that literally violated all of the tenure positions in our country and imposed people in those positions. So that was another thing that really caught my eye. It just reminded me of what transpired in Liberia, where those people in those kind of positions were removed. And lastly, it was good that you play the legal luminary's voice, the video for him, Councillor Gonglo, and, lamenting the concern of this particular rape case. I think to allow this guy to decide to take a leave of absence, you are allowing him to take the case, the course of this case. I don't think this man should be making his own decision now whether he will come to work or he will go. I think the nature of this case, there should be some presidential decision at this point in time, maybe suspension and other things pending investigation in such a case. I think that would be the right way to go. But for this matter to decide, oh, you know what, I will decide to just take a leave of absence. This is a major offense that so many laws have been enacted in Liberia that people need to start to adhere to them and respect it. So he was on point. Councillor Gongo was on point to lament it, and I think he was he is better than somebody like me to even address such a situation. So that's
Wonderful. Thank you, Brother Connor. And Brother Ali, quickly before we take leave of the UL situation, because I know there are so many things happening, and we have seen, or in fact, we've been watching all of the happening where some students are also being handcuffed, and the kind of situations where every time there will be a situation between the student body from UL and the administration. If today, if it's not the faculty putting down their tools for payment, arrears, and so forth, it will be the students agitating for the school, perhaps happening, the structures of the building, the latrines and so forth. So many things happening. But before we take leave, and maybe go to the drugs issue quickly, because we have about 10 more minutes to go into the core segment to interact with our people. But what say you with the UF stuff? But I'll leave quickly before we go. What say you? Because the student body of UF, SUB, and all of them, they are all protesting back to back. What say you?
The problem, but they have something, or this is another problem the government is trying to cause in the country. Like Mr. Dollar was just saying, or Ibrahim was saying, you people, they see you as student where they want you enjoy today, you empower, you use them, and it is today you know that you want to get rid of them. And this is something that been existing for a very long period of time. Just as Barakone said, you see, and today the government trying to put stop to student politics. No politics should be on the University of Liberia campus. That's going to be another problem. Let the government do what they can do to transform the University of Liberia, to pay these people good salaries so that they can be able to teach. Make sure you upgrade our university. This, I really get problem when people come to power, they want to spread themselves all around. If the president can get focused even on transforming that university, to upgrade it, to make it look decent, all this bathroom, running water, get that place clean. Look at the University of Liberia. Look at those buildings. Just a building that way in the forest said 1980. You see, it even said resemble the state-run university. Just now, like you said, when you Google Liberia University, you will see the University of Liberia. That's the first thing that will come up. But go in the country today, go see how it looking so deplorable. I think the government need to focus on that. Forget about putting stop to politics on the campus, this and that, and what have you. That has nothing to do with the bread and butter issue of the University of Liberia. The most important thing is to transform that university, make that place to look like a learning institution that people can be proud of. Even those that left from there, when they go back, they should say yes. President Bakay, you went to that school, you got your degree from there, Gafu and them. We expect you to do better for that university. You people, that's your alma mater that you're supposed to pay attention to, sense your empower that tomorrow any government can will give you the credit. But instead of focusing on the right thing to be done, you people, the ones that make no sense that why you're after. So as I said, that place is very, very desperate. When you see the University of Liberia, you can't even say no. When you visit some of those
I'm going to I will post some of the photo, but let move on to
I stopped there for now. I'm running late for my appointment, so while following the show, Mr. Kone can take it from there.
All right, thank you so much, Brother Ali. So yes, Mr. Connor, what say you? Because I think you, if you watch, in fact, if you are watching, you will see the video where the propaganda team of UL are speaking, and you will see one of the students also in handcuff. But Ali, so like you stated from your previous conversations that Liberia, or in fact that campus been like that for long time, and you also said something so interesting that almost if not 90% of our government officials also come from that end. But how come they're always neglecting that place? But Conan, what happened?
Yes. You know, like I stated, when the previous government was in power, they instituted a measure. And despite the fact the very students were almost on a daily basis demonstrating. That president happened to be President Weah. He saw the need that indeed the better ball set of children needed to be in school. He gave them situation. He instituted some kind of measure over there. Even from my understanding, after a long period of time, they decided the pavement of that institution at the main campus over there, they rehabilitated that. So I mean, there were measures put in place to keep the students in school, despite the fact they are constant, demonstration. But again, because those very students, especially the leaders at the time, the student leaders at the time, they were politically involved on a national scene. So those students were continually incited to exhibit those kind of behavior. Now today, the Liberia man said the shoes is on the other foot. It have become an issue today. They are trying to malign and all the bad names in the book today. Maybe. I mean, if those videos are shown over there, and those people sitting with a conscience of Maybon, you allocated, forget about the recent trip to the United States, you allocated almost $400,000 for the Japan trip. And then it took them, I don't know for how long. Yesterday or so, I heard the finance minister allocated $500,000. The students are right, because that ESA can't even exhaust the outstanding salaries and all payroll obligations of the institution over there. So leads to talk about even rehabilitating any of the structures over there. So they got legitimate concerns there. Until the government set their priorities straight, Maybon, it's going to be a problem. Today, the government is celebrating having a visa-free agreement with Rwanda. But look at the legislator in Rwanda. The people, they pay them less than $2,500 a month for their legislators. Rwanda, Paul Kagame set his priorities straight. You got Liberia today, you got all these guys in the court that said big shot in our country today, they write all the fabulous guys in our country. And the University of Liberia is right next door. Some of them can even leave their capital building offices over there and attend classes at the university. But it's not a priority for them. So the student had legitimate concern to voice this thing. The government being in power 2 years now. What can they point to at the University of Liberia they have done there structurally to change things over there? Nothing, maybe. So if you should ask me, the student had legitimate concern, and they need to, until they address their concern, they don't have to come out to be maligned over and over, calling all the names in the book that they are unserious people. They are not unserious people. They are serious people. And their concern needs to be addressed. Again, maybe thanks for that question.
Thank you, my dear brother. So to just add up to you quickly, maybe before we go to the line, or maybe we just chip in with the drug issue quickly, because mind you, the issue of drugs also in Liberia now is alarming. That almost every day you will watch or maybe see on the internet, every time you see young people losing their lives and so forth. But let me add up to what in fact you just stated, or in fact you just said, my dear brother. Indeed, you just know everything. Look, let's be frank and let's say true to power. No matter which side it comes from, no matter whether it coming from our side or it coming from whose side, because I understand that this country is just about us taking side. Whether these sides will benefit us or not, we don't care. Whether these sides will have a way maybe to, how they call it, negatively affect us in the future, we don't care. But as long we can get temporary gain, as long we can get that temporary stuff, we okay. That's how some of us, that's how we look, that's how we behave, that's how we, do things. UL, like Brother Connor just said, UL been around for very long time with the same attitude, same behavior. Every time the same thing over and over and again. Okay, I agree that Mr. Connor said. Maybe the previous government say, okay, there'll be no tuition, maybe, okay, let's do it away and here, there. I think the system should be re-energized by this current government and even add on more flavor. You know, that's why when you maybe come in the life of people, that for example, this lady, she been struggling, maybe, or this man been struggling back to back with so many issues, and you get in the person's life and you have zero impact, then no need to be in the life of maybe individual if you have zero impact. And how we look, you treat the State-run university like a dump site. While your children, they are, some of them, they're in Accra, some of them, they're in Dubai, some of them, they're in South Africa, some of them, they're in China, some of them, in fact, they're in Rwanda, they're going to school, some of them, they're even in America. Who paying for all these fees? It's us here, Liberians. Open your eyes. You are the one that paying for all of this. Most of these people, their wives and their children are not even here. They send them money, the same way you can receive, same way from America. That how these people send money to America or to Ghana or to South Africa or to Dubai. But they will make things look like you are the problem. Because why? By the time one of your own stand up and say, no, this is not right, this thing has to be changed, they put you there. They say, go there and talk or maybe attack, insult, or maybe tell them that what they're doing is wrong. That's the kind of society we find ourselves in today. They better go and get near it. How can the state-run university that pull out almost all of the government officials still dangling in poverty, still dangling in what kind of country is this? So, Brother for me, I think we've still a long way to go. And Brother Alitu said that the only way that all of these things will stop, and no politician will use even the soup or whatsoever people that you may call. Do the right thing.
But
when you do the right thing, yeah.
Maybe let me just add up to this real quick. Another situation that the University of Liberia is faced with, that board of trustees, they should have no business at this point in time having these legislators on the board of trustees. From my understanding, I think it's chaired by Nimine Batikwa. I think is a lawmaker from the Southeastern region or somewhere, I think Grand Crew or so. Now, here is the thing, maybe. Board of trustees sometimes they even help. Because right now, University of Liberia, from my understanding, they don't have endowments to say, oh, they got endowment that bring in monies out there. Unless some of these, that the Methodist Church and other places over there, they got places that they generated money from to sustain their learning institutions in our country. The Baptists, the Methodists, the Episcopal, the Catholic, you just name them. So they don't
get
have
church.
to worry.
Even if they don't get the money from the school, they will get the money from the church. So you are correct.
Somewhere. University of Liberia don't have that. Now, the board of trustees sometimes they get out there solicit even for library materials, laboratory materials, and, establishing a standard partnership, so and so forth to help the institution. Those guys are not in the business. And lastly, some of the very people on that board that happen to be lawmakers today, they got their own learning institutions. And it's supported, obviously, they're not going to prioritize University of Liberia over there.
Compare their private university or colleges around here with the state.
That's my point, maybe. So I just wanted to highlight that, let people understand it, because I think that's one of the agitations of the of the students talking about. You have these legislators, and they are not doing anything. And from my understanding, the current chairman on the Senate Committee on Education is not even a member of the board who advocates for the institution. All right, so it needs to be restructured, and even if you call them other partners who are not national figures in terms of holding public offices to be on that thing to help bring in external support and other things so that the institution will be completely coordinated and run properly as compared to these lawmakers. Because mind you, I'm pretty sure the board of trustees, they pay them some fees and other things for every time they sit a meeting or something. All right, and they're benefiting from all of those things, and then the institution is like it's completely dilapidated like that. It's embarrassing. Sometimes you get out of if you're a part of that institution, maybe you get out. I'm alumni of the University of Liberia, and then looking at your structure over there like that, it's appalling.
And
But thank people.
people can be offering PhD. Oh
Then
God.
I heard that they say they're offering doctorate degree. Where? You don't even have a certificate for bachelor's degree to have a doctorate degree? Come on, man.
So let's go to the lines. All of our children, they will go Rwanda to go do real study. They go China to do real study. When they come back home, they sit in debt to study. That's the kind of society that we all choose. And so we want. Hello to this caller. Good evening.
Good evening, Mabel. This is David King, and I do join you from somewhere in Monrovia. You see, Mabel, our issues are so many, and we cannot handle all on a single day. But we should first of all muster the courage to have what we call patriotism for our country. If we do not have the patriotic mind for this country, all that we will see on a daily basis on the various platform, nothing will work for us. You see the young man there, I mean not young man, but the senior man, okay, Miguel, okay, that brother is a elderly man somewhere around 50 something. He look at that little manner and rape her. But because he from the order, he from the power that be, so he working like a free man. And we all know that rape is a non-billable offense. So whenever somebody accused of rape, you are turned over to the Women and Children Protection Unit, where you be incarcerated, and they are doing a preliminary before sending you to court. But this guy, he moving around, sleeping in a comfortable bed at his house, and having a champagne and able to say nothing happened. So we come to ask people like Young Bleach, because yesterday they were the women that were in the black, sitting all on the ground rolling and saying they were protesting for rape. Yesterday, when George Weah was president, so they got mad. Why they don't want to wear the black clothes? You see black dresses that they wore.
All right, thank you, my dear brother. To this caller, good evening. Yes.
My name is Eva Seni, and they give me a phone continue to fight it. Well, maybe I listen to you have so many talking points, but me, for me, I'm picking the issue of the age. Then I listen to Honorable Congo. But I want for you to ask the name of the entire affairs minister there too, because they were elected at the time that he made too, but people talk around here and nothing keep on all it too. So he is just too, so he needs to be added there, he will be part of that minister going through because I mean they have no problem all to that way, but nothing keep on all of it. So you want to say all that the poor people when they accuse them, then they catch them and get them to court, but for them, they accept them for those kind of cases. Is that what they want to tell all the country?
What we are sensing though.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, my dear brother. To this caller, good evening.
Yeah, good evening, panelist. Emmanuel is my name on this too. Do you remember when she did videos and I go nowhere? Look at the internal affairs minister on that vision card. Came here only up to the president to him. Then the deputy minister, I government our mothers say to him, our mothers say to come up, put that name for up to now. One of the common people now, people in China, you know, you pick up on your horse. The minister now is taking people matter, we're taking issue with him, people in, they pass it all around. All the people,
thank you so much, another person in jail. To this caller, good evening.
Yeah, good evening, Mabel, and your co-host in the diaspora. Mabel, the issue at the University of Liberia at the government. Hello?
Yes, please call your name.
Yeah, the government of the university and the government.
Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, please call your name.
I'm Peter David Council. I come under the street like in Lower Johnsonville.
Wonderful. Go ahead.
The Liberia should ensure that university should be open. Because the young students, yesterday, was at the soup. And today, the supervise and rectifying those mistakes that are being made. Look at the University of Liberia school building. The central environment is problem, the bathroom. So you expect students to go sit over there? How would they learn? And learning requires a conducive environment. But the central and the University of Liberia is very much the problem. Then the rescue government, have failed to listen to the plight of the Liberian people. So even a suspension and a ban on student policies are going to solve the problem. We need innovation and creativity. And lastly, to the Deputy Minister of Youth and Sports, Brian Mangay, this man is Liberia is a serious country. And if the government be able to came to be able to institute a policies of equal justice, that means you are being caught and incarcerated and suffering. But you see what these guys are doing? They want to protect themselves and they can't selected justice. And selected justice to work for anarchical environment. And what is the thing? And then when society becomes anarchical environment, the government cannot no longer control the citizens.
All right. Thank you so much. The government cannot control or what you call. Today's caller, good evening. Yes, go ahead, my brother.
This is the voice of PSI and I join you from Stockholm to 4. Therefore, we are in a serious trouble. We always say to people that we are in trouble, they see that maybe we are doing the process. We are not. But when you see our proceeding like this, government are keen to rescue, government are keen and claim that they will do X, Y, and Z. And they are better in their own words. Labor is just us one thing, that the arrow is pointing to danger. Labor, when last night or in the country to high coin rape or rape or labor charge or when you rape, that maybe you will be treated with some special preferences. You know what I remember?
I cannot remember anything of such.
Therefore, how come in this country now we get different type of criminals? The poor criminal, when they collect you, they will put you in handcuffs, drag you to jail, particularly when it comes to non-bailable charges. Our rape under our constitution is non-bailable. How can a man who is charged to develop youth be a pedophile, to be exploiting a youth, to be destroying people today, and when it comes to spotlight, that same guy is working. The government about what? Chill. The guy is ready for leave. Can the guy be ready for leave? Or he should be placed in a handcuff and taken to a nearby station where you'll be investigated. But anyway, for training, we start somebody in your place, your object, your rep, your labor for job, and then I issue kids when you're standing where they will stay in, and then it's being shut on the captain. That's not a good trend.
All right. That's not a good trend. To this caller, good evening. Yes, go ahead, my brother.
Thank you for your show, Labor. Won't they give you this power to do something? Labor is to the issue pertaining to the unification like this. Therefore, the problem around you be solved and those that the children that are affected directly can be represented on the implementation. Therefore, people that are being affected directly cannot represented on the road for implementation. The money is unhappy, it's still the money and so the folks that are paying him.
And they are paying they are paying more people than even paying attention to the university. I don't get it.
Some of them there, they are telling us there, some of them, they're not even after whether the condition they are. So, for me, I'm suggesting that the student body should be represented on the scope for implementation. But what I love that, let the student be represented on the phone. If they are the people that are directly affected, then they will come and relate the situation to their friends.
Indeed, good recommendation. Let the student to be part of the board. I like that.
Yeah, let the student be represented. They will come and tell our police out there, they will come and make some report for all the time. You put the money in the box for them. Those people that are locking the money, they will ask for keep by labor. I'm telling you.
Thank you. To this caller, good evening.
Good evening, neighbor. How
My dear, I'm okay, man. Thank you so much for joining us.
I'm Rosemary calling from Mount Berkeley.
Thank you, Marcos.
Yeah, maybe, but so what happened to the entrance and graduation fee student pay at the UL? They won graduation, last year graduation. Students were paying 400 plus US dollars. And over 300 students graduated. So what is wrong with all of the money? They are just decided to run a campus, the senior campus, to come attending them. And one of the cashiers was complaining, he even came behind me asking me I should please take it away. He worried over 8 months and he had not taken care. He even began to register a children. So what are we into for? It is very bad for in the country. Very bad. I bet I call me today. I had to share my transportation with him.
And you people too, the mothers, you have to stand up, and also, go, because it is your right. Anything when things happen and you say, let's forget it. Let's forget it. Look, let's forget it, because they will always lie to you. So you want to stand up and say you want to bring war. 0770203125. That's the number to call, and you'll be live on the Sktv. By the time you want to talk, they say you want to bring war. You want to stop our peace, oh. Then you sit down. Because why? You're afraid. Because they will always be using the kind of tactics against you, that in fact that you want to bring confusion, you want to create chaos, you want to, this kind of thing. But you got to stand up. If you don't do, the politicians will continue to send their children outside, and their children will come and override your children. Because what do your children learning on there? Ah, God. Hello, today's caller. Good evening. Sorry. Yeah, go ahead.
For people to come to power with a particular nomenclature and they are doing things against contrary to the statutory, how can you say a rescue? That people are in our mission and helping people. There are the number of rescue. And those kind of people, that they are those people are not being bad. They scare in the offices. Maybe shame on those guys, man.
All right, thank you. To this caller, then we'll go straight to the WhatsApp line. I need to take 1 or 2 calls and cross over to our team. Hello?
Good evening.
Yes, my brother. Good evening.
Thank you for the show.
Thank God.
You just said, the attention of the draw to the women that will come with the pregnancy. Sometimes the Bible says, when you sow, like when you reap, those people who can listen to me say, oh, what are they going on, like, hey, can you look at it? When they say, our brother go to jail, then my brother, as I'm talking, he just come in there and insult me and say, you are not even investigated, they can't catch it for us. In working place, to those who want to solve the shit.
Exactly. That's a law that will have you. I know, is that a kangaroo?
They catch it for the working place, those who want to secure record to solve this. Tell me that all of me talking about the law is the law, and the other man what he talking about this. Somebody go to better and far, you're not investigated, you're not even treated at the hospital to get report from the police before can be made to solve this. But you won't accuse the man, police can arrest him, 3 days after can be made to solve it, you're not even going to go, you're not even found guilty, they probably not even know that don't get report. But the man who working because he's in government, then that's I think you're making all the really person who pray, what you pray for.
Now you only pray for people for I can pray for my own life. I'm gonna go pray for who? You people that is our way. 077020 people will be doing all kinds of things in my life. They are going to pray. Pray for what? They pray not the physical thing. Is that spiritual thing they're doing before we go pray? Hello, today's caller. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening, man.
Yes, my brother, go ahead.
Yeah, thank you for picking my call. Anyway, I'm Beto. I'm calling from the island this evening.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe you see the way I see the government proceeding, and I found, let me just go simple, and I found the way the government proceeding is not found. The way we see in the justice system proceeding, I can bring problem. I'm not calling for a problem, but I saw a problem. The way the government proceeding is not fine. When it comes to the justice system, respecting the rule of law, you know how I stop there with me one.
Thank you. It is a rule of law that governs any country. If, for example, you say when Mabon steal you or J Mabon, the same way too when someone else, even when a government official, whatever. Let me go to the WhatsApp line, man. Yeah, the WhatsApp line is very basic. Hello to brother Emmanuel Davis. Good evening. Well, We give it all to the Almighty Creator. Go ahead, my dear brother. Hmm.
When you do wrong on the school campus and the teacher beat on you and you get wounded, you go to your parent. Your parent will hold your hand, go to the school and ask the teacher, why you did this to my son or to my daughter? Until then, our mothers and sisters are serving Belago can join their children in a massive protest. And the problem when the government gets serious.
Seriously?
The government see that the children, they don't have nobody to back them. Because the government has sent the Belago people that they don't want to pay their children's school fee. And then government protect children that brought them to Google school and the children go to private school. So until our mother in West Point, in Nuguta, in Lokita, in Douala, getting themselves together for a massive protest, and who know when the government will get serious. That never happened like that before.
Yeah, indeed, my brother.
The government can draw their children to be part of that protest, but they put it away. Put the children, don't worry. The mother and the father that pay their school fee, know that working as a security, as a watchman, that pay their children's school fee, until they can join their children, there will be no change. Thank you very much.
Thank you, my dear brother. You know it myself that my call. At least let the mothers, the fathers, the uncles join the children. Hello, today's caller. Good evening.
Hey, good evening to you, my brother, and good evening to these lovely people of Liberia.
Thank you for joining us. Please call your name.
My name is Musa G. Brown, and I call you from the United States, Trenton, New Jersey.
Thank you, Brother Brian, for joining us. Go ahead, Chief.
Well, I just want to make a little contribution here to this topic.
Go ahead.
The first thing is the Liberian University. What I want to ask our president, members of the cabinet, how do they see the university? Do they see the university as an impact to their lives? That have made contribution to their lives? Do they see it like that? Or do they just see it as an ordinary place? They don't care. Are they really interested for these children? Do they worry about their future? Of these kids that hold this demonstrating? These are some of the questions that I want for Nigeria to ask themselves. Most especially our brothers that are now in a higher position. People that will debating issues about development. And I don't care how much is developed Liberia. If the minds of the people are not developed, we have a problem. If the mind
all right.
education to the key to our country. So you start building all the roads, you build all the big buildings, you build all headbridges, and our people really get up tactics.
But we wonder what now when they're building on the roads, they were also building epicenters. I don't know how come we. Oh God.
Rwanda is paying students to go to university. They pay you.
They pay you.
They are citizens.
Thank you, my dear brother. Yeah, thank you so much, my dear brother. All these things. Sometimes when we talk these things, people just think that maybe we just want to talk, but it's terrible. But I'll connect before I come to you so that we can go. We have about 6 more minutes to go. But it is indeed this those of you, to our mothers, our fathers, our uncle. Let me say this to you: you go in the market to sell, sit down in the debts and so forth. Sometimes you see the flowers around, you feel terrible. Your children go to school in the name of getting a better life. When they go to school, let me tell you in the simplest form, nothing, they don't even get comfort. The thing they call comfort, they can't even have it. They feel bad until even they'll be throwing chairs on their head until class time over. Anyway, but I comment, what do you get to say before we go here?
Yeah, Neighbor. Let me say thanks to the callers, man. You know, people are in tune, people are following, and they hope and pray that these voices of concern will be something that will be re-echoed so that the state authority will adhere to the concerns of the Liberians and do something in our direction. Based on all of the things that people are contemplating on doing, infrastructure is good, but if you don't have the human capacity to even maintain those things, it's never going to be maintained. And in the final analysis, it becomes useless. Maybe I'm yet to understand the rationale or the reason that up to this point in 2025, people still buying $45,000 car for lawmaker in our country. I'm yet to understand the rationale. The goal is that all some of these lawmakers coming from areas that are hard to reach. What's about people like Daryl Dillon now? Which interior is he going to? I bet you ask somebody like Daryl Dillon, he had never been to Todi for the last 6 years. And that's part of Mosharala County. He have no use of vehicle to go there. Or the likes of any of the lawmakers in our area. But after every 3 years, you're going to buy that. By the time a senator leaves, you have bought him three $45,000 car. That's 3 times. I mean, I call it 3 times 45 is what? That's about 90. That's $135,000 you have spent on just vehicles for that senator before he leaves office. And all of the cars are his personal cars. He's going to take them with him. He's never returned to government. Rwanda is not doing that. Rwanda pays their lawmaker less than $2,000 or there within. That's the reason why Rwanda is progressing today. They got everything over there. Their students don't have to complain. They don't have to demonstrate for nothing. They are going to school. Until those priorities are set straight. By the way, this exorbitant salary structure started from Mr. Barkay. By then he was vice president.
They say the party, and that's
yes.
But maybe tomorrow we'll look at that tomorrow with all of the salary structures and so, because sometimes people be shaking and be like, oh, it is the lawmakers. The lawmaker will say it is the president. We'll go back to that maybe tomorrow and check as to how we get here. That's a question maybe we'll be asking our people tomorrow. How did we get here from 2006? And we want all of you tomorrow maybe do your own research to see as to how we get here. That people are taking home 15,000. Yeah, go ahead quickly.
Maybe again, I know time is fast spent, but I just decided to highlight that. I know a lot of the younger generation, they did not live around to see previous government. Samuel Doe, when he was president, the lawmakers, in fact, they did not have Jeep. They got some kind of car they used to call Hyundai, of course, in Liberia, people say Hyundai. Hyundai Stella, that's what Samuel Doe bought for the lawmakers. The Stella, the small car, that's what they had. And Charles Taylor had the Nissan Trooper. They bought one for you. If you lawmaker for 6 years, that's what you're going to take.
Azuzu. I think they call it Azuzu. In fact, they were making 1,000, either 1,250 or 1,300. How we get to 15,000 tomorrow?
And then the country did not collapse at that time, Abel. So for you to have this thing at the age, not been addressed. That's the reason why the faculty at the University of Liberia, the salary is so exogenous. It's so extravagant. They're paying them all this big money, and they got to meet up with it because the people telling you we are impacting knowledge. If you're paying less than the people that are sitting on Capitol Hill, we need our own too. So everybody start demanding. And you know,
yes, because the U.S. president, according to a confirmed report, she makes something around 15,000.
Indeed,
people just making money like it's the joke. But anyway, my dear brother, we gotta go. No time.
Thank you so much. Thanks for the time, man. In between, man.
Yes, thank you so much. So hopefully on tomorrow will be our entire attention will be on the issue of salaries and features and so forth. How did we get here as people? Thank you so much. And folks, let me say thanks to all of you. Thanks to Brother Connor for joining us on this Monday edition of the Sktv show. As usual, let me say thanks to the management headed by our own dynamic CEO, Honorable Laike Bedete. Thanks to the head of radio programs, Oni Osumba Robert. And thanks to Mr. Connor, also of Sktv. Thanks to the social chairman of Steve Bullet. He will be here with us hopefully on Thursday More unfortunately today, more not come on, but hopefully on tomorrow you will be here with us. Thanks to Brother Aliu. Thanks to all of you that call us. You know, that's the best thing we can do. Let out our voices. Don't sit by and say that the people think. No, it's you too. Don't allow anyone to intimidate you. Liberia belongs to all Liberians. No one person has rights over another person. No, let continue to remain peaceful. Love Liberia, think Liberia, and build Liberia. But don't be the other people who will use the law against other people, but only want to benefit from the law. Good night. From my end, I'm Johnson Mabankula. I'll catch you when I catch you. That will be on tomorrow by the grace of the Almighty God.
There are things we can do. We bring in good news and we give it to you. We judge it for podcast and connecting people and culture from here and up out of the globe. Monitor people who waiting to sell. The blessing that time and the efforts are rest. The brothers giving us the end, the promise of them. The welcome and life without the end.
I lyrical health.
Master.
Play Paris, I can't Sktv menu. Say my journey, Tina get I say my yamo. And you no money, and more and you love
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa. Sktv, the best in Mama Liberia. Must hold by the lofa and grandbaza.
And I dine ya to money, and I salia ya to money, and I wanna play ya to money, and I could do ya to money, and I dine ya to money, and I salia ya to money, and I wanna play ya to money, and I could do ya to money, and I forget na ya to money. That's the TV, and I forget na. So she work on my ya to money. Yeah.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa. Sktv, the best in Mama Liberia. Must hold by the lofa and grandbaza.
There are things we can do. We bring in good news and we give it to you. We talk it for podcast and connecting people and culture from here and up out of the globe. Monitor people who waiting to sell. The blessing that time and the efforts are rest. The broadcast we giving are real and the promise my best. To work with my life without fear. From Grandfather Nima to Lufa, from Riverside, River G to Chile, from Grand Crew, Bombing, Kidman, Montserrat, San to Bacalu, from Maryland, Bonk to the Mikey B. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa.